Mm. Hello, everyone. My name is Vaughn, and welcome back to my channel. I decided to do a quick live while waiting for my laundry to finish, and this is the first time again that I will do live. So I just thought that maybe it's better that we do a live video with regards to nursing in the UK and life in the UK in general. And I have not uploaded videos um, since I think a week and a half already. So it's been more than a week that I haven't uploaded the video. So I just wanted to see if how are you guys doing, and aside from the fact that I'm on a day off today, I am thinking, oh, hello, hi. I'm thinking to do some quick Q&A about life in the UK, nursing in the UK, and maybe you can just post your questions if you wanted to ask something about nursing in the UK, nursing here in London, nursing in general. Kuya George, hi, Manong George, hello. Um, um, Franz Edilior, hello. Yeah, as I'm saying, you can post your questions, or you can post your info or any informations with regards to some discussions that we will have. This is not really a formal discussion. This is not really a formal what do you call that? Handouts of information, but just the day-to-day experience I have here working as a nurse in the UK and here in London. I would like to apologize if my video is not that clear. I am not sure if how is my video registering to your end there, but I hope my audio is clear. So, how are you guys all doing? I have 3 viewers. Thank you for the 3 viewers. Maraming salamat. And I would like also to give a shout out to all those who newly subscribed to my channel the recent weeks. Your reaction to the 2 last videos I posted was spectacular. Thank you very much. The one was the video I made when we were touring Alisa, if you remember Alisa, and the second or the last video I had was the bank shift rate here in London, or where I am working right now. So don't worry, guys. If you have some questions, you can drop still the comments on the comment section, and I will also post this video is as a recorded video in the channel, so that some of you guys, if you guys missed this live questions, then we can answer, and I can still see, and some of you can still view this channel. But anyway, for a special shout out, actually, I would like to do a special shout out to all my supporters and subscribers there in India and Africa. Wow, I haven't been there, but my videos have reached that far. Thank you very much for all those, to all my subscribers there in India and all parts of Africa. Thank you very much. And you've been sending me comments. Some of the comments and questions I have answered, and some as well I wasn't able to answer because I was quite busy, and yeah, and some of the comments were just repeatedly asked. So I just told them that you can just what do you call that, visit the channel, and because I think some of the videos can answer some of the questions. But more or less, thank you very much for watching the video. So there was one question there asked from one of the subscribers, or the one who viewed my latest video with regards to the bank shifts. There was hi Udaro Olwira Sikar. I don't know if I've pronounced it correctly. I apologize. But the question was, how is nursing nowadays here in London, or maybe in the UK? So um personally, I can say that it's getting back to normal slowly. The COVID patients that we handle, or we look after, is not that many as before. It's not as bad as before. Personal protective equipment are more abundant than the previous months. If I remember, it was in February, March, April. That was the peak of COVID here in the UK, and even the nurses and the doctors and the healthcare workers from both NHS and other social care work areas were affected, and I myself was infected with COVID. So that time was a very very bad time, but nowadays it's really manageable. We are back to, because London, I think, personally here in London, the pubs are open, the public amenities are open, so it's getting back to the normal one. So but I have some colleagues who have temporary registration from NMC. So for those nurses who came in and was affected by COVID and then wasn't able to take the OSCE, they were given temporary PIN or temporary registration here in the UK by the Nursing and Midwifery Council, and they use that PIN to practice as a registered nurse here in the UK, and that is helpful in a way because they help the framework of the workers and the workforce in the both NHS and private sector. The only I think the only problem with it is it's, I think, too early for you to be battling on the real world here in the UK as a nurse. Although if you've had training back in your country, say in the Philippines or wherever you're from, the principles of nursing here in the UK are the same. There are just some differences in terms of technicalities, but it's all the same. The only thing is here in the UK, practicing nursing should be backed up with all the written competencies and registration. So the only downside of the temporary PIN is that it was too early for them to be working as a registered nurse without the proper, what they call that, OSCE, without the proper training. If they weren't able to, I mean, the hospital weren't able to provide them training, that is bad. But most of these hospitals were so supportive of these new nurses, especially those who had the temporary pins or temporary registration. They were given series of trainings, in-house trainings, internal trainings. They were signed off some temporary competencies. I don't know if it's just temporary competencies, if they will repeat that competency when they get their qualification or registration. But I think NMC or the company would take it as a take an account of record. If they've done these competencies before prior to the registration, I think they will just do some enhancement or something like that. But so far we haven't heard anything about resuming the OSCE yet. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I hope it will resume back. And I think I would like to ask actually one of our colleagues who have temporary registration if they were able to book the OSCE already here, either some parts in England or some parts of UK. But I hope you guys, if you are one of those watching and then one of those who've got temporary registration, you can drop your comments and tell us the update, because so far that is my update with regards to that. Hello, I'm from India and I completed my BSc last year. I wanted to do a job in the UK. So as always, if you wanted to work here in the UK, you have to complete the registration by first of course completing your degree back where your country is or wherever you were trained, and then do an English test. It may be occupational English test or the International English Language Testing System. Is that correct? IELTS, or yeah, IELTS. So The details are can be found on the NMC homepage, or the Home Office homepage. So how much experience I needed to work in the UK? So just I think 2 years ago they changed. They already changed the requirement. Even if you haven't had solid experience back where in your home country, you can practice here in the UK. But I suggest it's better that you do have an experience back there, but you don't have to worry if there's none, because you will still be trained here in the UK anyway. So it should be fine, and you should be fine as long as your backbone in terms of knowledge, skills, on doing nursing is strong. Because definitely, on top of the training you will have here in the UK, you should have your stock knowledge in terms of the concepts, in terms of nursing in general here in the UK and in London. And there were also questions like, where should they go with is it better to work in London or in the countryside? It's really up to you guys. Um, as I've said, it depends on each and everyone. Like, there are people who enjoy the countryside because it's much cheaper in the countryside, but the salary is also higher in London. And they are also saying that they are enjoying in London more because it's more vibrant, it's livelier, there are a lot of people, it's they are used to living in big cities, and they still can cope. Like me, I've worked in a countryside and I've worked in London as well. I personally, I am happier in London, because aside from the fact that there are more opportunities in London, I can always go back to, I mean, I can always visit the countryside if I wanted to have a break from the city. Um is OSCE a tough exam? Oh, okay. How can I answer that one? OSCE is an objective examination, because you will be based, I mean, you will be graded, or you will be, what do you call that, you will be evaluated by how you perform a specific task or a specific clinical procedure. So you will be graded accordingly by how you perform assessment, planning, implementation, evaluation, sets of clinical procedures. And the only difference is you are time bound. Okay, so it's the same. The way you do in clinical practice or in school or university, it's the same, like doing the planning and etc. The only thing is, I think the only problem here by most of those who are OSCE takers are their nerves, because they are conscious that they are taking it, because they are taking it with time limit. So anyone would rattle on that one, right? So anyone would be anxious about taking exams with time limit. So you, before OSCE, you will be prepared by your employers, your hospital, and you will be also practiced. And you will have your practice buddies. I always encourage you practice and practice more, because practicing more, not only by reading and memorizing, but by doing, is really essential, because you will have the feel of doing it, and especially timing yourself, because you would see your progress in timing. Yeah, you would see your progress in terms of timing and doing the procedure with with a time frame. So practice that one as well. So there are a lot of YouTube videos from UK nurse vloggers or influencers there here in YouTube. I am not the very what do you call that? I am not very credible in terms of giving you the most, I mean, the recent updates in OSCE, because I've taken it 5 years ago already, and there are a lot of changes. But the only thing constant in taking OSCE or any exams is preparation. Failing to prepare is failing to fail. I mean, failing to prepare is preparing to fail. Is that correct? Yeah. So always prepare yourself mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and read a lot, practice a lot, and that would make sense because at the end of the day, it's you doing the procedure, not anyone else. And guys, OSCE is just an evaluation of how you communicate, how you handle yourself in terms of pressure. And the thing is, the things that you do in OSCE are the things you do in nursing, like the basic stuff, like you do assessment each and every day. If you've been an experienced nurse in your country and then you would want to go here in the UK, you're doing assessment, planning, implementation, evaluation, you're doing basic life support, you're doing wound care, you're doing catheterization, you're doing intramuscular injection. The only thing is, the difference is, you know, and you are conscious that you are taking it with a time limit. So that's, I think, the problem there. So the problem is not your knowledge, but it's your ability to manage yourself, where you'll not become very anxious and mentally blocked in terms of taking the OSCE. I think I've talked about the OSCE so long. Let's see how. Hello everyone, Nurse Nail. Hi, is it true that nurse and doctor visa will be more easier or and less expense? And please make a video with Indian nurse. Yeah. Let me just say that I have a plan making a video with one of my Indian colleague and friend, George Gomez, and I hope we can find, because COVID happened, so it didn't happen yet. But I am pretty much sure that he is really happy, and I am really happy to make a video with him, talking about OSCE in terms of no, registration from India to the UK. So we will talk about that one, and I hope we can do that one as soon as possible and as soon as the circumstances can allow us to do it. And the next question was, I forgot what was is it true that the nurses and doctors have a lot can acquire visa easier nowadays? So recently there are news feeds and news articles that I can read that the government, especially the health secretary, announced that it's gonna be a lot easier for nurses, doctors, and those who are working in NHS and healthcare sectors or social care sectors. They will be provided an easy access. I don't know, like, we can how to define the easy one because it's still in news, and I'm not pretty sure if it's really happening now, but they can be given easier access to acquire a working visa. So yeah, so the only thing I read there, because I haven't read entirely the news, was the weeks, I mean the days that you will wait is a lot lesser. There will be no immigration health surcharge from from those applicants and from the applicants here if you are from NHS and healthcare, private healthcare sectors. If you would want to renew your visa or apply a visa, you don't need to pay 400 or 300 pounds IHS per year, and that would be, say, if you will be staying here for 3 years, 400 times 3, that is a lot of money. So that is really a great help to all the nurses who will be coming here in the UK to work in the private sector or in the NHS. So yeah, so I hope let's wait for a concrete resolution or a concrete plan from the government of what's gonna be happening. But we are already hearing this, and it's a good news. I think it's gonna be way easier for everyone who would want to work here in the UK and settle here in the UK as healthcare workers. And let's hope for the best that it will happen soon and it will happen sooner. Yeah. So another question, is it compulsory to give OSCE, or we can practice in the UK without OSCE? Yes, it is compulsory because OSCE is part of your registration. You can have the computer-based test from the country you're from, which is like a multiple choice with critical questions, essential questions, and then if you pass that, you have to take the test the OSCE, because it's part 2 of the OSCE. So apparently you need to do the OSCE because it's a part of their requirement for you to be able to be assessed and to be declared that you're competent enough to practice safely here in the UK. You cannot practice nursing in the UK without the OSCE. Before, 5 years ago, you can do that just by passing a university adaptation degree, but now it's not happening. It changed on our batch. So we were the first OSCE takers in the whole world. Our batch is the first OSCE taker. But from that until now, there are a lot of changes in the OSCE. So I think I would have to read about OSCE more because I will want to give you updates, guys. And I think I hope I can speak to someone who recently just took the OSCE so that I can give you more, like, as more sensible information about the OSCE. Um, how to contact with NHS employer without recruiting agencies after clearing IELTS and CUT. Oh, apparently because I don't know. You can always send email because whenever there are advertisements or posts from the NHS, say a particular hospital that they need, say intensive care nurses or nurses, they always leave their emails there. So you can drop message to their email using their emails. Email them with your intention, with your CVs, if you don't want to go through agencies. But for me, as long as the agency would help you and make your application a lot easier, there's no problem with it. It might take some efforts, like say might take some, what do you call that, time, because there are a lot of people going into agencies. But I myself went into agency, and through the agency I was hired by the employer. So I think the agencies would make your life and application a lot easier because they know the details of the requirements, not only by the requirements by the posted by the employers, but also by the home office and by the immigration. But from day one, from the day one to up until you take the OSCE, they have all the information. So it should be okay to go through the agencies as long as they are legitimate, and you have to know that they are not scam, because there are a lot of agencies nowadays who take opportunities and take advantage of nurses going abroad. So just be sure that you are on a legitimate agencies, or that will provide you help or give you help in terms of your applications here in the UK. Yeah, I'm noticing you. Hi, hello. What was your message? Oh, okay. There is also a question here that what is the format of CBT CBT exam? As far as I remember, the CBT is a computer-based test. So it seems like if you are familiar with taking the NCLEX, it's the same. It's almost the same. You take you take the exam online in a testing center, provided testing center, and legitimate testing center acknowledged by the UKVI or UK Visa and Immigration. And then you will answer multiple type type of questions, if I'm making sense. So there are questions, essential questions that you need to answer correctly, and with a, I think, with a time limit as well. Sorry guys, because I took my OSCE like it was already 6 years now. So I'm not OSCE but CBT 6 years now. So I don't know if there are changes on the format of taking the CBT, but I think it's the same. As long as you study what you need to, what are the things you need to study. You study the governing policies of the NMC and basic nursing in the UK. Royal Marsden book is also helpful. I studied that one, and the NMC official website is providing you the list of books and information that you should read and study before taking the CBT. So please visit the nmc.org.uk site. They will really provide you, and even now they can provide you with the guided videos that can be your guide in taking the OSCE and CBT. So yeah, that's it for the OSCE and CBT. I hope you guys, if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. Thank you very much for always watching and following my videos. Drop your comments down below, and drop your comments or questions, and I hope to answer them as well if I know the answers. And I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to all those who supported my channel. Thank you very much. We are now, I think, 3,000 as a family, and I hope it goes up and up. It may be slow, but it's okay. I'm just so happy because if there was one time that I bumped into one of those who subscribe to my channel, and he recognized me that, oh, you were the vlogger that was discussing about the nursing in the UK or the life in the UK. And it's so humbling, and it's a what do you call that, a nice experience to meet you all, guys. So if you see me around, just call my name or call me, and give you a hug if it's all right now. Yeah, I hope you all guys are safe now. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Let's grow together. And yeah, I will be posting some of the informations if I get it from the credible sources as well. But thank you very much. This is the end of this live video. Oh, there's one thing. What's this one? Anshul Bishnoy. What is your question before I go? How to contact the NHS? Yeah, I've answered that. How much time it takes from IELTS to reach UK if everything is done smoothly? Oh, from the IELTS down to being employed here in the UK, it really depends now, especially nowadays because we're in a COVID time or COVID era. So if you take the IELTS, drop your CVs or applications directly. It's either directly to the employer or through an agency, and then they will assess you, they will give you the requirements, they will give you the medicals that you need, they will give you the requirements that you need to submit, you need to provide from school, from your previous employers, the character references. They will give you a list of medicals that you need to do. You need to do the x-ray from the IOM and stuff like that. And then if that is okay, they will give you time frame, and because they will need to get a decision letter from the employer. And then if you got the decision letter, it would take time as well to get certificate of sponsorship from the employers, because that also is in line with the given numbers of allowable certificate of sponsorship to be released here in the UK. And then if you've got that certificate of sponsorship, that would be a good sign, because maybe a month or 2 or 3, you can now have your flight in the UK if that is already allowed. And then if you go here in the UK, you will be trained for maybe 3 months before taking the OSCE, and then take the OSCE. And I forgot, along the line, you have to take the CBT first, or sometimes the agencies or the employer would require you to do the CBT first before giving the the decision letter, the certificate of sponsorship, and stuff like that. And if you're here already and you arrive, they will train you, as I've said, for 3 months, and then you take the OSCE and you get your PIN and you practice being a registered nurse or a qualified nurse here in the UK, and your life starts there. So yeah, there are a lot of videos in YouTube and in my channel, and I hope you can find them, and they will help you out as well with your struggles and dreams and aspirations in working here in the UK. So thank you for watching the video. I hope to see you soon, and see you in the next videos and adventure. Goodbye, guys. Stay safe, and God bless.